Welcome to the Radiant Life with Tatiana. I am your host, and I'm obsessed with empowering you to live and create the best life possible. I'm a master mindset coach, breathwork facilitator, and a passionate little Latina who loves sharing the magic behind your subconscious mind and energetics. If you're looking to uplevel your mindset, learn all about spirituality and manifestation, and to be inspired in making a change to embody your best self, you are in the right place. My goal is for you to see and unlock your limitless potential, to have the tools to break free from the chains holding you back so you can create and live your most radiant life. I am so excited to have you here listening today. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Radiant Life podcast. I'm just going to jump into it today because I have to talk on this. I need to be honest, real with you, because you know me, like I like to keep it real, and I can't let you not hear this message today because I literally had this conversation with a multitude of clients the last 2 days of coaching calls, and when I shared this with them, when I was honest and transparent and gave them these reframes, it blew their minds. They released the pressure they were putting on themselves. They were able to see what they were looking at with a different perspective, release the fear, the disappointment, the discouragement that they had been kind of feeling a little bit behind the scenes stepping into 2023. And I know you need to hear this too. And this is what this podcast is all about. It's not only a place for me to share tips and tricks on ways for you to embody your best self and create your most radiant life, but it's also so you can connect with me and I can be totally honest and transparent and real on my journey, what I'm going through, my mistakes, my lessons, and I'm going to keep it super freaking real with you. And maybe you feel a little extra passion, excitement, spicy energy today. And I won't be surprised if it's because I'm hosting my free 3-day workshop Radiate into the new year, and so hyped about that. If you're listening to this when it gets dropped, you have a couple hours left to jump in. I'll leave the link in the show notes below. We're starting tonight, January 10th. It's going to be an epic free training to help make 2023 an amazing year for you. And also because early bird enrollment for Embrace Your Radiance is opening on Thursday with a few extra bonuses for those inside the workshop. And I guess now you listening to the podcast, and it's opening to the public on the 16th for January 30th start date. So it's just like a lot of excitement, a lot of momentum, but I need to address this conversation with you because I did not achieve 2 of my goals in 2022. And gasp, right? Because I'm here teaching you the mistakes you make when it comes to setting goals, or teaching you how to set goals in a way that you can manifest them easily. But here's the thing. I'm going to go deeper into that, but I want you to think for a second. When you didn't reach your goals, what are you making that mean? I told my client that, and I was like, the difference between us right now is that I look at the 2 goals I didn't achieve, and I'm not making it mean anything. And I'm choosing to handle it a different way. Like I'm not making it mean that I'm a failure. I'm not making it mean that I don't believe in myself or that I don't believe it's coming. There's just things that I need to do to pivot. And so this is how I've handled it. And this is what happens because sometimes our human brains want to do too much control. And I really just want to address this. So I looked at my goals and I was like, okay, cool. I didn't achieve 2 of the goals in 2022. And I didn't give a shit because I didn't make it mean anything. But instead, what I did was I checked in. I'm like, okay, Tati, are these truly in alignment with you and what you want and where you're going? Yes. Okay, cool. Because if it wasn't, I had to make some adjustments. Then I looked, okay, so what happened? Did I drop the ball? What's going on here? Why did I not accomplish these goals? Oh, sorry, my nose is itchy. You know, they say your nose is itchy when you're like speaking truth. So we're speaking truth. We're just going to riff raff today. So I was like, okay, so what happened? Why did I not achieve these goals? Did I drop the ball? Was I not making progress? And I said, no, I didn't drop the ball. I didn't give up. So now what? I evaluate it. And instead of me giving up on this goal, like most people do, believing it's not for them, they're not capable of it, or going into a negative spiral of frustration or negativity or discouragement, I was just like, okay, cool. I'm just going to carry it over into 2023. And actually, instead, I'm going to make an even bigger fucking goal. Like that was it. No attachment, no disappointment, not making it mean anything. And here's the thing. When we create goals, we're supposed to call in what we want, but there is an art to this. And this is really what I like support my clients inside of group and one-on-one coaching, because we can easily get so in our heads, but there is an art to it. Because with manifestation, we are meant to control the what and the why. What do we want? Why do we want it? We are not in control of how it's going to manifest into our lives and when it's going to, the timeline. You know, sometimes God and the universe has better plans or different timelines than what our human brains chose. And that is okay, and that is normal. The key to this is the detachment to the pressure of the timeline, detaching from how it's going to happen, releasing the control, and finding the belief and trust that it's coming for you at the perfect time you're meant to have it. Adopting the mindset of looking life with the view of it's always happening for me. No matter how like hurtful or stingy it feels, it's still always happening for you. I believe wholeheartedly that I did and accomplished everything I was meant to in 2022, and that I learned and experienced everything that I needed, and letting go of this human need to control everything, controlling the how and the control of the when. And I've built this trust within myself and with God and the universe, knowing that it's coming, and it's coming at the most divine, perfect time. And if not, then it's something better. And that's not to say, you know, I don't have moments of like frustration or upset, and I get all in my feels. Like, yeah, sometimes I do, because I'm human and I feel into it, but I do not collapse into it. I don't make it mean anything, and I don't operate from that vibration. I feel it, I shake it off, I keep fucking going. You feeling me on this? So if you didn't accomplish a goal or two or all in 2022, okay, cool. Don't make it mean anything. Let's keep going. And I just want to note here, because you may know my story why I'm so passionate about what I do and then hosting like goal setting workshops is because, yes, there was a time in my life where I used to never hit any of my goals, and I would have the same New Year's resolutions over and over again. But there's a difference between me not accomplishing those goals from the past and me not accomplishing this goal now. Let me explain. In the past, my main goal was to lose weight and be skinny and find myself. Okay, cool. Now, like say one of my goals was to have the podcast say in top 100. That was one of my goals. And we're not there yet. Yet. You hear the yet, right? And the difference is with this goal I had last year was I still showed up every day. I still did the work. I stayed consistent. I interviewed people. I brought valuable content. I just kept going at it. Versus in the past with my weight loss goals, I was really wishy-washy. I would stop eating and then I would binge. I would not stick to a workout plan. I would not stick to a diet plan. I was in a negative mindset. Like I wasn't actually doing what I needed to do. I was not staying consistent. I did not have the belief in myself. I wasn't keeping the vision in my head. So I wasn't doing what I had to do. And honestly, my goals right now are just way fucking bigger, that it just may take longer than a calendar year. And that's okay. We're in it for the long run, not like instant success or instant results that our society expects nowadays. And so I really want to share this with you and be totally honest. Okay, yeah, cool, you guys. I didn't reach 2 of my goals. Awesome. And I'm not a failure. I actually accomplished a lot of other goals that I didn't even plan, because where I was in the beginning of January of 2022, I had no idea what the year was going to look like absolutely none. Like Evan and I were broken up. I was living in my apartment. Like I took a really big step back in my business because I was healing. Like I had no idea what was going to happen. And I set goals because it's good to like set a direction. Like let's drive the car somewhere. Like let's have an idea. And can we be open, and can we release the need of control and attachment? And so I want to share these 2 different type of stories with you that I believe are going to resonate. So you can truly understand the difference between fear of making sub-big goals or alignment with these goals. And I'm going to share client stories. I'm not going to share their names because, like I said, I brought this conversation up with clients and it completely shifted their energy. So I have one client who didn't reach her 2022 goals, and we were not working together when she created her 2022 goals. We started working together in the fall. So, okay, cool. And when we had this conversation, I was like, what are you making it mean? You know, like, oh, maybe I'm not meant to do this, or maybe I'm not good enough, or I'm just failing. Like, I keep not reaching my goals. And I was like, well, there's one thing. You're making it mean something. And that's the thing, you guys. Nothing has meaning other than the meaning that you give it. Let me repeat that. Nothing has meaning other than the meaning that you give it. So she was putting this negative meaning to it versus just seeing it maybe for what it is and seeing it as an opportunity to look at it, pivot, reevaluate, right? And, you know, before we did that, we had a discussion. I'm like, let's talk about other year goals. And she's like, well, you know, I had 2018 and 2019 goals that, you know, came up in 2020. And then I had some 2019, 2020, and 2021 goals like all just fall into my lap in 2021. AKA, again, we aren't control the timelines. And I was like, okay, cool. So you had successful experience of achieving goals, but not on a timeline that you expected. The calendar year is just a fucking human construct. Like, time is an illusion. That's a whole other topic for another time. Quantum physics, quantum field. Time is an illusion. So we can't get attached to these calendar years. They can be here to support us and guide us, but not to rely on it. So I said, okay, cool. You have successful truth. You have now awareness that you're making it mean something that it doesn't need to be meant. And I said, let's take a look at these goals. And what we found was that they weren't actually truly in alignment with herself, and that she was attaching too much on only one way of getting a certain feeling, result, or lifestyle based on what other people have told her in her life, other coaches. And I was like, okay, cool. But like, if that's not in alignment for you, it's never going to truly happen. It's going to feel hard and icky, and you may not ever achieve it. If you can take one thing away from today or anything when I talk, alignment is key. Literally. When I was working corporate job, I was not aligned. I was depressed and I hated my life because I was not aligned. Alignment is key. We're here to fulfill certain purposes and paths, and we got to do what we need to do. We need to find that alignment. And I literally should be called an alignment coach. I help my clients find alignment with whatever area we're specifically working on. But anyways, alignment is key. So we talked in depth yesterday, and she said the moment I spoke that to her, she had like a aha moment, and she realized, oh shit, I'm focusing too much on one way of getting this outcome. Because when we set goals because we believe it's going to create a certain feeling, a feeling of freedom or love or abundance or success, right? Like, that's why we set goals, energy. And she's like, I'm literally focusing on one way. It has to come in this way, this way, this way. And she's like, and now that I'm thinking of it, I actually don't know if I'm fully aligned to these goals. So now I was like, great. The moment she realized this, she's like, I literally feel like 10,000 pounds is lifted off my shoulders. So if you're there, take a deep breath. Are you aligned to your goals or not? Are you putting pressure on yourself or not? Right? Like, breathe into it. Because now what we get to do is we get to reevaluate her goals, and we get to get clear with like, okay, like, who are you now? Who are you now? Not the past, who you thought you were going to be or had to be. Who are you now? And what are goals that feel good and aligned to who you are? Like I said, if you're not in alignment, it's not going to feel good or easy. This is the same thing that happened to me when I did not hit 6 figures in my fitness coaching business. And honestly, I never would have hit that goal because it was not in alignment for me. I knew I wasn't 100,000% passionate about that, but I did it because I had started that. I didn't want to feel like a failure. Coaches were telling me that was the way. And once I got clear and aligned with who I was in January 2020, my mentor came into my life. I did a lot of belief releasing work. I got clear on who I was, what I wanted, how I wanted to deliver it truthfully, like stopped lying to myself. And now look at me. Look what I'm doing, right? So if you didn't reach your goals, check in on them now. Are you aligned with them? And a good way to find alignment is How do they make you feel? Do you feel excited and giddy? And does it just feel right? Great alignment. Or do they feel a little stressful, a little bit of meh, a little bit of ugh? Then that's not alignment. And we got to do some changes, right? And I just want to make a point here. If we get too attached to the timeline, to the way it comes into us, we're not letting God and the universe work its miracle magic. Literally this morning, an hour before I recorded this podcast, I shared on we had our final Embrace Your Radiance call this week, and one of the ladies was just sharing that she was feeling really anxious about like not having enough money right now. And so, I gave her some tips on things to do. I coached her through it. And one of the main things is, can you release how money is going to come into your life? Because if you think it's only going to come in from your mom or your job, you're missing opportunities for it to come in. And I shared with her an example that about a year and a half ago, one of the previous alumni, Embrace Your Radiance alumni, sent me a text once, a very similar conversation. And she's like, oh my God, I just got a refund check in the mail for my car insurance. An hour later, she received another refund check in the mail, I think from her health insurance. And she's like, okay, I get what you mean by releasing how things are supposed to come in, whether it's a relationship, friendships, a new job opportunity, money. We have to release sometimes the how it's come in. So I told her that story an hour before this podcast. She's like, oh my God, Tati, if you're on my story, you saw me, I posted it. She's like, I literally just got 2 freaking refund checks in the mail and a job acceptance, a job offer email. There you go. The 2 refund checks was like, health insurance again or something like that. Just government deposited money from Canada and like a health insurance refund check. There you go. It was literally just days after our final call. There's magic inside of Embrace Your Radiance. Like, you guys, miracles like this happen all the time in any area of these women's lives. If you're ready to learn into it, like join. We start on the 30th. But either way, we must let go of the attachment of the timeline and the how. And we must make sure it's in full freaking alignment with us. If not, we need to pivot. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So maybe you're like, okay, I still have this goal. Cool. Check your habits, check your thought patterns. What do you need to do differently to embody this new goal? Okay. And then second client story. I want to address the fear and the difference between setting big, scary goals and knowing when to like pump the brakes or not. Because our goals are meant to be uncomfortable. They're meant to be scary because we're expanding. We're stepping into a version of ourselves that we've never been before, or never received or achieved before. And that's okay. But if you're scared that they're too big or too unrealistic, I want to share this story with you so that you can just reevaluate yourself, right? It needs to be realistic, but at the same time, you don't want to not set it because it's unrealistic. And what I mean by this is I had another client who has a vision for a new company. I kind of shared this, I think, on here, for a new company. So she has 2 businesses now, and I can't share specifics yet, but the goal for this new company is to have $500,000, $500,000 in revenue this year. And she was like, but I don't even have like my supplier confirmed yet or the product in my hands. And she said, I don't know if I'm aligned with this goal. This is what she said. I don't know if I'm aligned with setting this goal. And I asked her, is it that you're not aligned or that you fear setting this goal because it's so big, you don't know the how, and you're scared that if you set it and you don't reach it by the end of 2023, you'll be disappointed in yourself? And she was like, ooh, the second one. I was like, yeah, you're aligned with it. It's what you want, but there's fear with it. And yeah, that's a big motherfucking goal, right? But let's talk, right? And I was like, is it truly possible to do in 2023 based on where you're at now? It definitely could. Like, you have a huge audience and support that you could do that. Obviously, things depend on suppliers. But again, we're not meant to know the how or the when. And I told her, I was like, think of everything that's happened in your life since coaching, all of the miracles, all of the accomplishments of your other business thriving, money coming in your way, brand deals, and finding this new apartment with like such a glitch in the system rent for South Florida. I was like, if God did it once, he can do it again, right? So I told her, this is where the art comes in again. That we need to set goals to bring the vision in mind, right? We can't just like sit there at a restaurant and not tell the waitress what we want to eat. We have to declare and decide what we want. I was like, so you got to set the goal so you can tell God, okay, this is what this is what I'm calling in, and this is what I'm going to be working on. Cool. And we set goals the right way. We do all the tools and things that I'm going to be sharing inside the workshop, and I share inside of all my coaching programs. Like, there's actual magic to it versus just the logical reverse engineering. We got to bring the manifestation, universal law, spiritual principles in it to support you. So once we did that, I was like, but there's an art to this. So what I mean by that is detaching from the timeline and being okay that if it doesn't happen in 2023, that doesn't mean anything. It just means it's coming soon. But that it's still happening, right? Maybe for you, it happens 1 year from launching, or 1 year from when you get the product in your hands. It's still a goal in the way you word it and think of how it's going to come into fruition. Maybe you're not meant to know the how, you're just meant to know the what and the why. So when I said that, she released all the pressure on herself, all of the doubts, all of the fears of what if I don't do it in 2023? She almost didn't set the goal because of too much of the fear. And I'm like, girl, if you don't set the goal, then it's never going to come. I literally had this conversation with Evan. He wants to buy a second real estate property. And he's like, well, I just don't know if that's going to happen in 2023. And I'm like, okay, but is that a goal that you have for yourself? Yeah. I'm like, then set it. What if an amazing opportunity arises because you set the goal? Okay, amazing. And what if it happens in 2024? Okay, cool. That doesn't mean you failed. You feel me, you guys? Shoot for the moon, and we get to land on the stars. We get to allow the universe and God to share the miracles that we're meant to experience on this 3D earth that we're just rotating. I don't even know how big of a speed. For me, I truly have built this trust in myself and in God that He has a better timeline than I can ever imagine. Like I said, I set goals in 2022 without knowing what was going to happen. And honestly, my life had a ton of other plans, and that was okay, right? I accomplished a lot of goals around my hosting a retreat, having breathwork. I went to Italy. I had no expectation of going to Italy because Evan and I weren't even back together this week last year at this time. I moved in with Evan. There was a lot of other moving parts and a lot of other goals that I achieved that I didn't even expect. And I'm still on track for the goals I set. And I'm setting bigger goals. I just have the belief in myself. And that doesn't mean, again, sometimes little doubts come in or emotions don't come in. They do. But what did I say earlier? Feel them and then rise up above them. Don't let them control you. Don't collapse into them. This is resonating. I hope you're shaking your head. I feel like this is going to land for a lot of you. And you know me. I'm going to always keep it real with you. I'm not perfect. I'm I'm human, right? I almost said I'm not human. I'm human. Life isn't always perfect and, dandy, on my Instagram stories. And that's what I share with my clients. I was like, listen, this is the truth, but I'm not making it mean anything, right? And I know that it really supported them hearing this story, and it saw themselves in their situation in a whole different light. And I really hope it does for you too, right? I'm not going to lie here and say I have a multi-million-dollar business, because I don't. I'm learning lessons. I'm still in the trenches of entrepreneurship. I'm figuring it out as I go. So be open. This is the importance of taking time and connecting with yourself and seeing okay, who am I truly? Is this aligned? And honestly, support is massive. I had some upset moments the last 2 weeks, and I would not have gotten out of them. No, excuse me. I got out of them faster, 30 minutes faster, because of my coach. And she was like, whoa. She reminded me of things I already knew, but she was there to hold me, hold the vision, hold who I am. And we got out of it 10 times faster. Maybe just would have taken a couple hours for me, right? Both of those women examples that I shared with you both said that if they didn't have this coaching support and accountability, they're like, honestly, I'm so grateful. Thank you. And they're like, thank you for doing this. Thank you for putting up with me. And I'm like, I don't put up with you. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you rise into who you're meant to be. Because they're like, if I didn't have you and the support, they're like, I probably would have been stuck, would have fell into a negative spiral, stuck in my heads. I would have gone not clear on my goals or aligned with my goals, or I didn't set the goals I truly wanted, or not even accomplish them, right? There is power in guidance and coaching and support and accountability. Coaching is all about action and embodiment to achieve what you want to achieve and become who you want to become. There's a reason why the top successful people in the world in every area have coaches, right? This is why coaches have coaches. So I just wanted to really share this, and if you're really wanting this accountability and the support and these learnings to be who you know you're meant to be, to help you let go of the old ways, the old programmings, to help you confidently speak your truth and own who you are and get clear on what you want and learn how to be the version of you who has this life that's on your heart, I invite you to join Embrace Your Radiance. The day this is released, it's not open yet, but you know what? If you apply, you apply. I invite you to join Embrace Your Radiance. It's opening up on Thursday, early bird. And if just a recap, like Embrace Your Radiance is my 4-month group coaching program. It's here to help you tap into your potential, connect to yourself and your purpose, to rewrite your story, to build unshakable confidence within yourself and belief so that you can go after what you want and create a life you love and deserve. Inside of this program, I teach so many principles so you have the foundations and tools to understand how this works, around the subconscious mind, spiritual principles, energetics, and manifestation that can really feel really confusing and woo-woo. We're just like, what is this? How do I apply it in super simple ways? Because, a lot goes into manifestation. And a lot of people that don't talk about it is, in order to manifest, we have to uncover who we are. And in doing so, that comes with shedding the layers of our old selves, the old programming, the old beliefs, or things that people projected onto us, so that we can get into an energetic alignment to manifest. And so inside of Embrace Your Radiance, I not only teach you these concepts through video modules, because I don't tell you what to do. I want you to always understand the why behind it, so you have a firm foundation. But also, you get tools to help you implement and apply to your life. And you get lifetime access to that. And you get coaching to get support every step of the way so you can attain these goals you set, and you can be held accountable and be supported with like-minded community, because the people you surround yourself with matters. This program is life-changing. Every single woman who has joined this program has transformed their lives in ways that they didn't even know were possible, in their health, in their relationships, in their confidence, in speaking their truth and speaking up like their opinions, in receiving money, in abundance in their careers and shifts and things that they never expected. And it was just like miracles. And they're like, oh my goodness, right? They feel so much happier and grounded and certain in themselves. And that's what you deserve too. Amen. We all deserve that. So if this sounds like something you'd value from, and you're ready to take yourself to the next level, improve areas of your life, I invite you to join. The start date is January 30th. The early bird doors open on the 12th, which is for the workshop. And I will add in the podcast now. If you're listening, you can totally apply. I'll put all the links in the show notes below. On the 16th, we're opening it up to the public. And so there are a few bonuses. I'm going to offer them for you too. So from the 12th to the 16th, if you apply and join, you will get 4 bonus one-on-one calls with me. This is an over $2,000 value. And I'm just giving it to you as a bonus because I want to support you. And then if you apply when it opens to the public from the 16th to the 18th, I'm just giving 2 days I want action takers. I want women who are committed into it. You're going to get 2 one-on-one calls with me to use during the program. Like I said, I really don't offer these, but I want you to know you are supported, that you are here, and there's someone on your side, on your team, to help you overcome whatever you're feeling and accomplish what it is you desire. And, there are discounts if you choose to pay in full, have a full payment. And we offer extended payment plan options to just truly make this work for you and your budget. I never want money to be something that gets in the way from you owning who you are and feeling the most connected and confident and happy in your life. So I'm really here to support you. So I'll put all the links in the show notes below. You can apply. And if you want to hop on a call to ask me any questions to see if this is truly a good fit for you, we can totally do that. I always want to make sure this is a good fit for those inside. It's a beautiful, intimate container. Once you join my community of coaching, you are in it for life. I take care of you. And I'm really here to hold you, hold your vision, hold who you're meant to become, and the goals that you truly desire. So I'm so excited to have you inside. Apply, check out more of the show notes below. And I really hope that this podcast episode resonated for those of you who maybe didn't accomplish some of your goals, giving it an opportunity to not make it mean anything. Take a look at it. Where can you pivot and learn from it? What can you do moving forward? How can you make sure you're not setting goals because of too much fear? And just reframing your views on this. Letting go of control of the timeline and the how, and just detaching from it all. The detachment part is hard. This is what I really, really help clients with inside of their programs. And I'm excited to help support you. So thank you so much for listening. If you valued from this, please take a screenshot, tag me at Tatiana_Couto on Instagram, share it with a friend that you know would totally value from this. And let's just keep more fire, juicy content coming into 2023. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you next week for the next episode. I hope you have the most radiant day. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to share it with me and write an Apple iTunes review so I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me, you can find me on Instagram at Tatiana_Couto. Make sure to tag me in any posts that you share. I love and appreciate you so much and cannot wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out and radiate your light into the world.